Well. I continue to see articles being published out there on how to be profitable, profitability, set production goals, set all kinds of goals, do everything in the world you can to run faster and faster and be that hamster on the wheel, always running until you just poop right out. Well, I want you to know that we're going to talk about the business question that no one is talking about. That's our podcast today. We'll begin it right now.
Welcome, all of you fantastic dental podcast listeners, to the My Practice, My Business Dental Podcast Show, where we help dentists profit and thrive with excerpts from the clinical business of dentistry training here at My Practice, My Business. We'll be addressing and answering questions with current trends dentists and their teams face each and every day in their pursuit of this wonderful career we call dentistry. And now the host of our show, the clinical director and president at My Practice, My Business, Dr. Rob Thorup.
Well, at My Practice, My Business, we don't just talk about the question that no one is talking about or addressing or having answers to. We teach it. We're the only consulting company that teaches it, and it's right in our business protocols. We do it. We live it every day in My Practice. What is it that we teach that not one dental consulting company has picked up on? Procedural profitability. Unbelievable. The question is what dental procedures are you actually profitable with? The chief complaint that we always hear is this, quote, "I'm working harder, but taking home less," end of quote. Man, if I heard that comment, if I had $1 every time I hear that, and it's true. All of our colleagues out there are working their guts out, taking home less. I mean, we won't even get into the cost of living and just the crap show that we see out there in the economics of our great nation, especially over the last 4 years. I won't make this political, but and another one we hear is, quote, "My team asked me for a raise, but there's no money to keep them happy," end of quote. I think if one more hygienist goes up to a doc and wants a raise, I think the doc's going to have a coronary upset with with this. The problem's simple. Practice profitability with PPO plans, those third-party payers. However, may I suggest the majority of dental practices are not even profitable with their self-pay patients, their fee-for-service patients. That's one and the same. Every time we have a practice come through our advanced training and we go into the analytics with our software, My Dental Stats, and they start analyzing their fee-for-service fees, it is the funniest thing in the world. They go, "Oh my gosh, I thought we were so profitable with our fee-for-service fees, but we're not. We're barely breaking even." Well, I get it. I understand it. And that's where we want to train you. We want to train you how to be profitable with all your patients, from third-party payers, PPO patients, to your fee-for-service people. The average Utah dental practice and most in the nation have an average overhead of about $500 per hour per doctor. We see this over and over. I like to call that overhead the direct operating cost per hour to run the practice, or DOC per hour. With that knowledge, let's analyze just two procedures: composite fills and one all porcelain crown. And as we do this analysis, I'm fully aware that Utah's reimbursement fees with PPO plans may be different than your state. But having said that, the direct operating costs to do the procedure and the actual reimbursements run very similar percentages of profitability, or lack of it, in every state. It's kind of crazy. It's like the numbers don't lie, and the numbers go up and down based upon the areas where there's a cost of living index change. So we've analyzed this trend by training practices from all across the country. So let's begin. Most dentists will schedule 3 two-surface posterior composites. That's 3 of them. Like if I'm your patient, I come in, I have 3 cavities on 3 teeth, right? And they're 2-surface posterior composites. Don't put them all together. Put one in each quadrant. Make it more difficult. So they'll schedule that for a 1-hour block of time. For me, that's what I do. I have 3. The first one is 30 minutes, and each additional one is 15. That's how we schedule, and I find that most practices do the same. So the average PPO reimbursement rate on those two-surface posterior composites, the average is 120. Now, I know some of you in Utah and other states, Nevada, Colorado, Missouri, you're going 120 or like getting 95 to 105. I know, I get it, but then there's other insurance plans that pay a little bit more. But let's just say 120. Let's under promise and over deliver here for a minute. So $120 per fill, that times 3, that's $360 for the 1 hour procedure to complete the 3 composite fillings. With your $500 per hour overhead minus your $360 that you just made in that hour of gross production on the composite procedures, you're $140 in the red. Yep. Even with a hygiene appointment going at the same time, you're still in the red on almost every plan, and significantly in the red, like a good 17 to 19% in the red. Even with a hygiene appointment, even with 2 of them can be an issue. Now then, I realize some of you are thinking that you're all good because you're running 2 hygiene appointments per hour. Okay. One hygiene appointment usually averages $90 of production. So you think you're good with $180 of production added to the $360 from the composite fillings, totaling $540 of total practice production. And that gives you a big whopping $40 of net practice revenue for that hour of production time. But wait, when you start running double hygiene, that also increases your overhead or direct operating costs by another $80 to $100 per hour. Because you got to pay for the assistant, you're turning over more material, you're using 2 rooms instead of 1. Unfortunately, now $40 to $60 in the red is where you're looking at. I sure hope you followed me on that business math. With an all porcelain crown, most dentists are scheduled for 2 hours of total time to do the procedure, whether with a lab crown that requires 2 appointments or with CAD/CAM same-day technology. The average PPO reimbursement rate for an all-porcelain crown is $680, with the buildup being $105. The total PPO reimbursement for the procedure is an average of the crown plus the buildup, $785. Your overhead for the procedure is $1,000, $500 per hour times 2 to do the procedure. But you only made $785 of gross production for the crown procedure. Subtract that $785 from $1,000, you're in the red, $215. Okay. Now, some of you are saying, well, Rob, I don't schedule that much time. And I'll say, why don't you talk to the assistant how much time it takes for them to set up the room, tear down the room, wipe down the room. Yeah, I know you think you're only spending 90 minutes, but no. I don't think so. This business exercise is precisely why dental teams cram the schedule just to hopefully make a sliver of profit. And what happens to every dental practice when overheads exceed profitability? The dentist starts the following business protocols, which are typically taught by every dental consultant. Number 1, shopping for better price points on supplies that oftentimes affects the quality of materials purchased. Don't tell me it doesn't. Number 2, using a less expensive, low-quality dental lab to save on laboratory overhead. I have literally had insurance companies, one in particular, say, Rob, you should use the offshore labs. That's what the corporate guys are doing. And those corporate boys and girls are so much smarter because they're getting their crowns offshore, and that's increasing their profit margins, and that's what you should be doing. I don't think so. That's wrong in so many directions. I won't even get into that in this segment. But no, I'm not going to use an offshore lab. Of course, I'm CAD/CAM. But no. Number 3, decrease staff members to lower payroll. Oh my gosh, yeah. So do more with less. Your team members love that. They'll love that. Number 4, They'll love this one even more. Hold back raises and diminish or eliminate bonuses and control the hours. If you're not busy, send them home, right? That's a kiss of death. 5, this is the worst one. The dentist wages are decreased once again. I hope you are all following the trends of dentist wages, because they have decreased or remained stagnant. And I don't care if some of you are going, well, no, mine have gone up. Really? Have they gone up with the cost of living index, with inflation? How's that buying power of your dollar? See, we think our wages have gone up. This is what this current administration is saying. Well, wages have gone up, wages have gone up a certain percentage point. Yeah. Well, the cost of living has gone up 27%. I don't think my wages have gone up 27%. Ding-a-lings. Anyway. 6, cram the schedule with some fillings while the crown is milling. Cram the schedule with some filling while the crown is milling. I just love, my redneck humor. Or as the temporary is being made, okay? Whether the temporary is being made or the crown's milling, you can do your own rhymes, but that just means you're running harder and faster and you're going to blow a gasket. I love what we do to our hygienists. We run them harder. 30-minute cleanings, not, you don't have an hour with that patient. You got 30 minutes. Well, yeah, the 30 minutes ends up being 15 to 20 minutes because they got to run to the next patient because they're seeing a patient every 30 minutes. Well, the list that I'm talking about certainly is not complete, but it's definitely more common than we all want to admit. These are the things that bring stress to every dentist owner. And I know you know what I'm talking about. And when cash flow is decreased due to that lack of profitability, the dental practice suffers, period. Wages go down. Cash flow goes down. It's a problem. This is why procedural profitability is needed for every dental practice to thrive, let alone just survive. My practice, my business trained offices learn how to apply insurance contract rules and state laws to increase profitability on nearly every procedure. Simply stated, MPMB trained offices average, ready? Might want to lay down, $210 per two-surface fill in that scenario I gave you earlier. $210, not $120, $210. And $1,225 for each all porcelain crown. Yes, on PPO plans. That's $130 of profitability on the above composite procedure and $225 of profitability on the all porcelain crown in those above scenarios. $130 with 3 of them, 3 fillings, $225 with 1 crown. That's corporate profitability, folks. Most important. When you're profitable with your procedures, the hygiene patients now increase your corporate profit margins instead of being a loss leader to augment your non-profitable procedures with traditional billing practices. It just doesn't work. Status quo business policies in nearly every practice force dental salaries downward when compared with the cost of living, let alone these lovely inflationary constraints within our dental businesses, especially the ones we've seen for the last few years. Docs, you cannot draw from a dry well when it comes to wage increases, acquisitions of technology to perform the types of dentistry you want to deliver, more expensive products, medications, everything. Everything gets slammed down if you do not have corporate profitability. Knowing and understanding PPO contracts and state laws is how my practice, my business is able to teach dentists and their teams procedural profitability. You have a business choice. You can remain in the status quo of non-profitable dental practice philosophies that are not grounded in business. Or you can train with a dental consulting company that guarantees their training. And that consulting company is us here at My Practice, My Business. We hope you choose us. Imagine the possibilities when you can be profitable with nearly every dental procedure. The positive effects of having that business knowledge can and will be life-changing for you and your team. And our training tuition is guaranteed. You pay our tuition on revenue with every specific dental code you have never utilized before. Only with those. Not the current stuff you're doing. Nope, we don't care about that. We're going to teach you how to increase profitability on other stuff that we don't track. And that's just under-promising and over-delivering is what we do. And if you don't make money, neither should we. We call it dental consulting the way it should be. Sign up for our business training. We promise it'll be the best business decision you'll ever make in your dental career. Thanks so much for listening. I hope this has been helpful. Have a great day.
Thank you for being with us today. Since 2006, My Practice, My Business has been teaching dentists and their teams business skills, dental insurance contractual protocols, and state laws governing how to profitably bill patients fairly for the need-based services they provide. What's more, we guarantee our training, unlike other dental consulting companies in the industry. Simply stated, if you don't increase your net revenue, we don't get paid. We call it dental consulting the way it should be. We believe there's never been a more important time than now for dentists to experience and implement our key methods, knowledge, and business training within their dental practices. To learn more about our guaranteed, no-risk clinical business of dentistry training that is changing dental practices for the better, just go to our website, mypracticemybusiness.com, and surf our pages for additional information about our company and the services we provide. When you're ready, give us a call and get scheduled for the most profitable dental business training that you will ever experience. If you enjoyed our podcast, please leave us a 5-star review. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to call us. Thank you again and have a fantastic day.